Knock, knock. Who's there, Dutch?
It's the Wrestling Open Forum.
The fucking Wrestling Open Forum show right here on the High Spots Wrestling Network and maybe some other social media sites we're not allowed to say. But we are back. It's Saturday. Brand new episode. We got some good stuff to talk about. We getting into Drama Island today, right, Dutch?
Ton of drama, actually. I actually like the drama, though.
You
I like the drama.
Earlier, on an earlier podcast from this season, that you're not into the drama.
No, wait. This drama I am.
Okay.
This drama I am. By the way, when we do that, you can totally hear it.
I know. That's what happens when you spend all your money on microphones and not microphone arms.
That's our next buy.
Yeah, this is our next buy. So please don't donate anything right now because it's not worth donating to yet.
No, not yet.
Don't donate now. Donate what needs to be donated to right now. But
Food.
In the future, we'll make enough money to buy some of those badass Howe, I think it's Howe, H-E-I-L, mic arm stands. You don't know anything about that, right?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Whatever. Okay.
All I know
We're
is
not
you're
here.
just saying words.
This isn't a tech podcast, Dutch. This is a professional wrestling podcast.
Good old wrestling,
and it's
baby.
filled with some drama talk. So it's like keeping up with the.
Don't say it.
I wasn't going to say the Kardashians. I was
Oh,
trying to
you
figure
said
out
it, though.
what
You still
what
said
else.
it.
What could we be?
Keeping up.
Keeping up with the wrestling nerds.
With the wrestling nerds.
The wrestling nerds.
Wrestling nerds.
Right here on Wrestling Open Forum Show. Boom, pow, let's go. All right, like I said, it's that time once again. It's Saturday. We are here in our chairs in front of our sweet-ass TV with our logo on it, and we are ready to talk some wrestling. So thank you for joining us once again, our loyal fan base of 10 people. We
Wait.
appreciate the hell out of you.
Make sure
Boom, Wrestling Open Forum Show.
There it is.
We appreciate you, and we will continue doing this for you 10 people for however long we feel like doing it and you feel like listening to it. Right, Dutch?
To be fair, I think it's more than 10 people.
It is more than 10 people, but I like to be modest.
But I was going to say.
I don't like to brag.
I mean, 12 is, it's pretty good. Whatever.
Not 12. It is 12. I don't like to give out the real number, but it is 12.
It is 12. I mean, to be fair, we get a good response. It's pretty fun to hear what people say. I mean, obviously, my brother, he listens to it, and he listens to a lot of podcasts, and he, not to toot our horn, but he says it's pretty good.
How about let's do this? If you're watching this right now, when you finish it, just shoot us a message on social media. The best is our Twitter, even though that's our least followers. But we can look up hashtags and all that stuff. Or you can hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com Wrestling Open Forum, Twitter at Open Forum Show. And just let us know how you watch our program.
Yes.
Because we have extended it to a few other outlets, not just the High Spots Wrestling Network, but we will continue to be on the High Spots Wrestling Network for the remainder of our time, of our agreement. But it's on a few other outlets. So just tell us we want to know where the best place and the most efficient place for you to watch it is.
And it's not that it's not accessible, because I know people that don't have social media and still watch it. So let us know how, like Patrick said, we want to know what we can do to improve it. Yeah. Ooh, a real marketing team. That sounds dope.
That's us. There's no real marketing. It's us. We're doing this DIY.
Let me call my marketing team real quick.
Yeah, let me call our marketing executive.
Oh, hey, Patrick.
Sorry, hold on. Hello.
Hey, what's up, bud? Yeah.
Hey, yes.
Did you fix the shit yet?
I'll get to it right after we finish this podcast.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Cool. Thanks.
Yep. Love you. He didn't tell me he loves me. So.
Love you too. He heard me in spirit. But no, like I said, this episode is filled with drama, I guess. Well, yeah, kind of drama, which all wrestling kind of is drama, but this is like real drama or scripted drama. That's what's in the first little tie-in topic.
Yeah. It is LARP.
Somebody put that on
the Nerdiverse.
Yes.
Yep, somebody put that on the Nerdiverse. It is LARP. And you know the meme when you go, that's
True.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, it really is. But somebody said, why'd you have to tag me like that? I feel you. But at the same time, it's super true that it's live action role playing. If you didn't know what that is.
I'm trying to tell you. I didn't really know what LARP was until Role Models, the movie.
Yeah.
And
what a movie.
Pick on them if you want to. That's some cool shit.
It is. These people are living their best lives.
Yes, and that's what we do in wrestling is we live our best lives.
Right.
We create characters, we portray those characters, or we pull for those characters that have been created, and it takes us out of this bullshit that we call reality and puts us in our LARP/wrestling universe and allows us to live our best life. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, to people who aren't living their best life, well, I guess they still are, but they have a little disagreement, are the two members of our first topic. I was going to give out their names, but let's wait till after the graphic. Topic number 1. That's right. Topic number 1 was a Twitter exchange between one of the top guys in WWE and one of the top guys in NXT.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not like spreading any breaking news on this because I'm sure the whole world. It's
not breaking news, but it's probably the most interesting piece of news.
Well,
because you don't hear these two names associated with each other often. So when you do, it does go, what could this become?
Well, and I don't know. I'm torn between if it was a shoot. I don't like using the terminology. If it was real animosity between the two of them, or if they're working towards something bigger.
Right.
And we'll get into all that, but of course we're talking about Randy Orton and Tommaso Ciampa. In case you didn't see their Twitter exchange, I have it pulled up right here. I'm going to throw it up on the screen for you. So I believe the Sunday after, was it In Your House was on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the Monday during the day after, that night after NXT show went off the air, Randy Orton tweeted, and this is something that, once again, this is what throws me off, that he has criticized in the past about indie wrestling. He says, heard hashtag WWE NXT hashtag takeover in your house was great. Slapping my leg for you guys. Sincerely, hashtag leg slap. So taking little jabs, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he puts the show over, but then
he did put it was a backhanded compliment.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. So before we just jump into this, I want to get it all out there. So the next morning, Ciampa, who lost to Karrion Kross, which has the absolute best wrestling entrance I've ever seen. Maybe, don't shoot me, Dutch.
For NXT.
Maybe tops the Undertaker's entrance. From hold on. Let me explain. And this, I don't want to get on the sidebar. I don't think
anybody knows.
Let me get on the sidebar. From a production, detail, and presentation format,
Yeah.
That entrance is better than Undertaker's.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
No. I'm gonna go watch it.
Okay.
But, people understand why. Because I am a very busy person, so when I do get to watch wrestling, I binge it. So
it's not like we have a popular wrestling podcast that you need to watch this kind of shit, Dutch.
But I watch AEW.
Okay.
That's my thing.
So,
but I watch the highlights too.
Right, so here.
I haven't seen his entrance yet because usually what I do is I get straight to the match, and that's what I do. And I have to wait for my brother. We watch it together and we dissect it together.
Pause for 1 second.
A few minutes later.
All right, thank you for holding on for 2 seconds. Dutch just watched the Karrion Kross entrance.
Okay.
What you didn't see in that clip is the first thing is Scarlett Bordeaux stands up and then this skeleton wings are flying behind her on the screen.
Right.
And it looks like it's just flying through clouds. Dude, it's
So I just saw it and
But let me finish my explanation. I think the timing, the presentation, and the production value is better than anything they've ever done. WWE or NXT.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not talking about the history and the aura of an entrance. I think The Undertaker's entrance, the coolest thing I ever did was, there's a few cool things. When he was in the coffin after it and he rose up from the screen like that. It's some Survivor Series. I don't know. I think it's 10. No, I don't know. It was Survivor Series. When Yokozuna buried him. You don't know anything about that, do you?
I know that one.
Okay.
Yep. I actually know that piece of history.
But the lightning bolts.
The lightning bolts.
They go down.
Yeah.
And the fire. But everything else is the aura of The Undertaker.
Right.
Is the presentation of the Like this,
I get why people love the Undertaker's entrance so much, and for the people that
we're getting completely sidebarred.
That's
right
okay.
Now.
That's our
Yeah,
podcast.
it's our podcast. We can talk about what we want to.
Even with that kind of entrance, I get why, and people know I'm not a big Taker fan, but I respect what he's done for the business, and his entrance is great. I've just never been a fan of him. I like the Boneyard match, whatever, but I understand like where you're coming from. It gives you that, like you said, that ambiance. You're like, it takes you
it's like,
in.
It's like you're part of a moment.
Right.
And
see,
this.
Go ahead.
It's one thing I've always preached to people, especially when I had Evo, is before we ever ran a show, I did promos and put out videos and packages for all the talent that were in the tournament.
Yeah.
And they're like, why are you doing all this? And I said, because, like, in theory, nobody knows you.
Right.
And the way our minds work because of television is if someone sees you on a screen before they see you in real life, you're a star. Like you've done something
to get to the platform that you're at.
You've done something to get some kind of notification, like notoriety is the word I was looking for. Notoriety to be on that screen.
Yeah.
So like even if I'm trying to think of a good example. Say there's fans that watch our show.
Right.
And they've never been to a PWX show before.
Right.
And they come to a PWX show and they run into you.
Right.
You'll have, I'm not going to say they're going to treat you like a superstar, but you'll have some kind of aura about you that they feel
he
like
has a podcast.
That you like. I've watched him talk about wrestling before.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what builds the digital relationships with fan bases and stuff like that.
Yep.
So like my thing with Karrion Kross is I was always wondering because he was good in TNA or Impact.
Sorry,
he
guys.
was like he was okay. He was never.
He was Killer Kross, then, wasn't he?
I mean, and I've seen him in like Independence, and I've seen him like I've worked shows that he's wrestled on.
And there's people that I know that love him.
Yeah, and he's got this crazy fan base, but I've always been like I wonder because they made it such a big deal about him signing. And
I do remember that.
And I was like, I wonder what they're going to do with him.
Right. Yeah.
And that is how you make a superstar.
Yeah.
Like nobody can.
It's really good.
In order for him not to work out, he has to fuck it up.
Right. Yeah.
Like they have laid out the red carpet for him to make millions of dollars with that entrance. That's what I mean.
They put the time and effort into him. And it's not like you were talking about Ciampa. When he came in, he built himself.
Yeah.
That's something about Ciampa that was really awesome. I remember the meteoric rise that he had. I mean, when he started going after the NXT title, it's instantly he just, and I mean him being a heel and turning on Gargano and doing all that. It was like, when they brought in Ciampa, it wasn't like when they brought in, they're calling him
Adam Cole.
Right.
Adam Cole, and I feel like Adam Cole, Kevin Steen was the first to get the immediate push.
Yeah.
Then Adam Cole was second.
Right.
And then
because when Adam Cole goes to actually like the main roster,
I don't think he ever will.
You don't think so? You think he stays in NXT like Ciampa?
I think eventually.
Or Ciampa, however y'all want to say it. I say Ciampa.
Is it Ciampa or Ciampa? I think it's Ciampa. Ciampa. We've been saying Ciampa. I don't know. Ciampa. I've always said Ciampa. And if I go
Ciampa and Ciampa. I go back and forth.
Yeah, and he's told me before, but I can't remember. Those three, and the Kross is the third one that they've just brought in and just pushed the shit out of
immediately. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if even like Devitt or Balor didn't get pushed initially right away. He got there. They basically built him to the demon gimmick.
And then when they did the demon
that was But that was the closest thing to. But still, this is the last thing I'll say about it because we need to get back to the original topic.
Right. We need to digress.
The last thing I'll say is still, even with Bray Wyatt's from a production standpoint,
number one in a very long time.
From a production standpoint, not that hard.
It's easy. Shoot and capture.
Yeah,
but that one was
just
more
lights
than that.
Out. Yes,
yeah.
That's what I mean when I say that entrance is one of the best entrances ever in WWE. Because even Balor's with the lights,
so beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing, and the timing's there.
They don't put
that
they built that.
That is perfect timing on so many levels.
Yeah.
that it's insane. And I didn't see the one from In Your House, the entrance. I saw the match.
We'll have to see it.
Yeah, and I heard that one was insane too.
So Ciampa lost.
But the topic at hand is that's the last time I'm apologizing. We got shitty things I need to WD-40 them. I will at some point. But my thing is Orton's been critical about this before on the independents.
He has. Yeah.
I'm partial both ways because later, I don't want to get into it, but later Orton's wife tweeted out something to Ciampa as well.
Right.
But I don't want to get into that. I want to get between Orton and Ciampa. But, Orton has a point, but also how many fans do you see? I'm trying to think of how to say this because I have 10 things going through my head. It'd be one thing if there was an abundance of fans that were saying, why do they keep slapping their legs? Why do they keep slapping their legs? Why do they keep slapping their legs? But you don't. Nobody cares. Nobody says anything. It's just like when you watch a movie and say, why does a person turn his head when he's about to punch him? Because it's a fake punch.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think they're
choreographed, you idiot?
Yeah.
And to be fair, and to the point, when somebody, he was moving with the move. Okay, if you're in a real fight and I got to punch you in your face, what are you going to do? You're going to move.
Yeah.
Regardless. So either way, you can't really defend that with, he moved his face with the punch. Yeah, he was moving his face because he thought he was going to get hit. I mean, you could go both ways with it, but I see what you mean. It's choreographed, like with what we're talking about.
And another thing is, how do you feel when you have one of if not the best superstar or WWE performer ever, in Randy Orton?
Yeah.
And his only criticism about an entire pay-per-view is that some people slap their legs.
That to me is kind of annoying.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's so many other things that you could have picked out of that
but
that you
that's
didn't
what
like. But you say
because it's an indie thing.
Was it?
He's
that
making
good?
fun of the indie thing.
Yeah, he's making fun, and there was comments made, I think either today or yesterday in an interview that he did, where he continuously says, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quoting, these guys do so much physicality in their matches that they're going to get to the main roster and they're going to have like 4 years of career, and then you're not going to be able to wrestle anymore because they're being so physical.
Right.
Well, you're contradicting yourself now, because in theory, the reason people slap their legs in professional wrestling is so they don't murder people with kicks.
True.
And to get a sound. So if you do it correctly, and 90% of the people in NXT, if you're going to do it correctly to where it's perfectly timed, to where you're not drawing attention to you slapping your leg, you're drawing attention to the blow.
Right.
You're actually decreasing the physicality of the match.
Right.
But you're bitching because they're being too physical.
Right.
So you have to, like, Orton is trying to balance two subjects where he's bumbling contradicting himself.
He's bumbling while doing it.
To where he's just being an asshole.
Right. Right.
And I think Ciampa is one person, individual. I've met him personally. I've worked with him. He is a unbelievable human being.
Right.
I love him to death. There is one flaw that I feel like he possesses, and it's not even with wrestling. It's that he feels like he has to be the voice to stand up for everyone. And part of me respects that. Part of me, that's going to get you in trouble.
That's true.
And I don't think he's going to get in trouble for popping off at Randy Orton.
Right,
I did read something today about Vince McMahon being very upset about the back and forth. Because,
really?
Yeah. Because, like, I understand that you're supposed to be brands and you're supposed to be
one.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like, but you work for a global company that pays everybody.
Yeah.
It pays everybody under that bubble.
Yep.
I don't care if you're in production. I don't care if you work on SmackDown. I don't care if you work on Raw, NXT. If you just train in the Performance Center, you're getting your check says World Wrestling Entertainment.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Vince McMahon's name is at the end of it.
So one thing that would piss me off if I was Vince McMahon is,
and I know where you're going to go with this, and I understand why.
You have a company that is openly trying to get to you,
right,
and be competition with you, and they do that shit 10 times more than NXT does it. They're indie 10 times more than NXT is.
Yeah. Yep.
NXT has found that perfect balance. I said this years ago. It's probably the first takeover. They have found that perfect balance to have the audience, the worldwide audience, independent, mainstream, it doesn't matter, watch a professional wrestling WWE product and feel like they're watching an indie style product. They have mastered that art. It's not indie.
I remember you talking about it was on one of our podcasts.
Yeah, it's not indie at all. It's just they figured out that formula.
They know how to capture the crowd, and I understand why Vince would be upset with the tweets. Now, were those the only tweets?
Those were the only things.
Okay, so
with those tweets, outside of Orton's comments on the
So with those tweets being said, and I understand where Vince would be upset because I've seen it with you.
Yeah.
Where you have two talent going at it, beefing on Twitter or Facebook or something, and they're doing a totally different storyline. You're like, hey, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And they're creating their own. Now, if it happens magically, and it's organic, that's another thing. And I've seen it too. You're just like
they're trying to book their own angles,
right? And that's a big thing. Is like I don't know this personally, but it seems like you want to get the okay to do that before you do that because it might look bad if you're doing it. But what do you do when you have somebody like Orton and Ciampa and they're doing that and they're beefing because now fans like me, well, damn, I kind of want to see that match now.
Yeah,
but that sucks because if they're in storylines, now you're like, well, shit, we got to get these storylines done.
Yeah,
so we can push this so it doesn't lose its push.
I mean, there's two sides to that. The first is yes, and like comparing me to McMahon is comical because like we could be planning something in PWX, but these two guys doing something else in another promotion anywhere in the United States or the world.
Right.
So I don't really when I get upset is I've always been one that says if two people want to wrestle each other or work a program together, just come to me and tell me.
Just tell me.
And if both parties are interested, I have no reason not to do it.
Right, yeah.
Unless there's something like big set up for one of them.
I want to wrestle you, Patrick.
We want to push. Let's do it. Backyard. We're going to put it on our Wrestling Up and Performance show. maybe we'll get 15 things. But that's one side of it is that yes, you're trying to book your own angles. This follows through with that is if you give them that, then you are presenting the notion to your entire roster,
right? That
if they go after somebody on social media, there's a good possibility that you're going to have to pull the trigger on it. Yeah. And next thing you know, you've lost your entire roster to trying to book their own angles on social media, which happens a lot.
I was going to say it could be rough, man. You got to be careful what you say and you do because then you can get other people involved and then you don't know where it's going to go. Mm-hmm. To me, we talked about this on a prior podcast where sometimes it just works. Mm-hmm. But you don't want to do it too often because if you do it too often trying to create your own magic, and that's when we were talking about, then it just feels forced. But you just got to pick your moment when you think you feel or you see the moment, you're like, this is it. You know, like the slow clap.
Well, yeah.
And then you start going with it and then boom. But you want to feel the situation. Is it worth it? Because you could get in trouble. You could get in trouble where you're not going to be able to do anything.
Well, another piece of it, and this is where we'll end on this one and go on to the next topic, is like what happened to professionalism?
Yeah.
Why is it okay to openly on a platform that is worldwide critique others in your company before you speak to them?
I feel you on that. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I don't think.
Then the problem is, and this is just in my brain, this is not the truth by any means, is Orton feels like he's untouchable.
He's always been like that too.
Yeah.
We can even trace that back to the whole steroid case when it was Cena and Orton got in trouble. And it's like at that time, Orton viewed himself as the big face in the company because he was the youngest world heavyweight champion, and then it started, carrying over and stuff. But it was always Cena, and I always feel like that's why he's untouchable. Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to put it. Even though I don't want to call him an asshole, but it's
like he's a. I don't know him personally, so I can't say that I've heard stories,
right?
So I can't say that he's an asshole personally. He's just an asshole. He's a professional. Like he's he's an
professional
asshole professionally. He's not a professional asshole. He's an asshole professionally.
Oh yeah, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because I love Orton. I love watching his work.
Mm-hmm.
And if this was any other universe and there was no Cena, he would have been that Cena. Well, he wouldn't. Yes. Yeah, I
agree with you 100%.
Orton would have been the face of the company easily. He sells. He has great matches. Oh my God, his in-ring ability is phenomenal. He sells so well. He
does everything.
He panders to the crowd. He's so I want to say sadistic the way he does it. Like I love when he pretends he's going to do the RKO and he's like, with Jericho. I remember the one time he did with Jericho. The whole edge angle.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's like Cena. Cena was only hated for as much as he was is because he was pushed so much. But he sold so much merch, so he got the push, and he's safe. He works with his character, his other talent, and wants to push him. And I think that's why he did the U.S. Open, because he kind of buried some talent for a while.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what, I'm going to give back. And he did. Yeah. He did, and I guess that was an apology, and I accepted. But Orton would have been that guy if it wasn't for Cena, and I don't think I know that. No, I'll say I think, because I don't want to say I know Orton, but I think that's why he's never really happy seeming.
Yeah,
it's always because of that Cena that Cena shadow is what I was thinking. That Cena shadow.
The closest comparison I can make is watch the Lance Armstrong 30 for 30.
Okay.
And when you get that level of fame, that level of praise, then it's almost impossible to keep your ego at a humble level.
True. Yeah.
And I think that's what happened to Cena. When Cena was just running through people and doing his thing.
He was just so mega.
He's making as much money as he can. Yeah. And that might not have been Cena. See, that's the thing with the wrestling business is you're not the only decision maker.
Right.
So like with Cena, McMahon might have been like, this guy's selling over $100 million worth of merchandise.
What do you do then? You can't just tell him no.
He beats everybody. He beats groups. He beats tag teams. He beats everybody.
He's beating an entire roster.
Yeah, like when
he comes in, he says, "Hey, I want the world title."
And what do you
tell him no?
And like if you're the guy, what are you going to say? No,
right? You're going to take the opportunity.
You're going to make probably $50-60 million.
That's the whole point. Is you don't want to go in the business for yourself. But the whole purpose is to be the best that you can.
Yes.
And when you want to be the best you can, and nobody can say, "Well, I wouldn't be like that." You don't know that because I know if I ever was to become
just tear the fucking microphone off the thing
and throw it.
Dutch.
So if I was a professional wrestler, and I went in there and I was selling hand over hand of cash for y'all, what? Why are you giving me that look?
Do you think that you could go sell? Why don't you sell some fucking Wrestling and Perform t-shirts?
I fucking will. How many do you want me to sell?
Just kidding. Give me a hard time. Carry on.
I could, but if I was doing that, and Patrick knows the kind of guy I am, and everybody else, I wouldn't sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm getting this," but it was like, "Hey, you're doing this, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna have to give you push because you're selling product and blah blah blah," and then it snowballs, and then it just takes itself, and that reminds me of a very, very popular superstar that never got a push, and we won't talk about it because we can talk about that for 2 hours, Rusev. Yeah. But like the point is, when somebody's that popular, it's hard not to push them. And with somebody like Orton is as popular as he is, it's just I just don't find I don't know why he's so intrigued to attack an indie star like that, and that's where I was getting at. I just don't get it.
I think
It's hard to find words for it.
It's just
Does he
my thing
want
for
to
it,
go down to Florida and do something?
I just think he don't care, and which is crazy to me because you've been in this business for how long?
For a while. 2000 and make sure y'all look it up. 2002 or 3?
Probably somewhere around there. But no, because
it wasn't 2000. It has to be 2003 or 4.
Yeah.
It's between 2, 3, and 4. It has to be.
But I don't know. It's unnecessary. And if you have a problem with people slapping their legs, then it wouldn't be hard to find Ciampa's number.
I would be.
And you text him and say, hey, listen, you're the locker room leader. This is my take on the In Your House pay-per-view. There was a lot of leg slapping. We're trying to present a realistic product, which is fucking laughable to WWE. But, just be the leader and try to fix it.
Sure. Yep.
And then, I doubt that conversation took place because of the back and forth.
The titter.
Yeah, the titter.
The Twitter exchange. Yeah.
And it's
weird.
Be a professional.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're on the indies. I don't care if you're in the major leagues. Like, in any sport, in any profession, if you have an issue with someone, take it up with them. Or if you have an issue with the team, take it up with the team leader or the manager or the boss. You're best friends with fucking Triple H.
I literally
say, Hunter, look, I'm not going to say this again. Tell them to quit leg slapping.
Right.
It looks stupid. And
if your feelings get hurt, get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it because, like you said, you're trying to present something realistic here. I get where Orton's coming from.
Yeah.
Dude, go another way with it. Because I have said it, and why am I not a huge Bucks fan? There's way too many.
You hit the nail right on the head.
Too many super kicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm like, all right, you got to do something else because when I watch it, it's the same. Now, I don't want to put them in the same category.
No, because they're
not at all. But the thing is, that's why I can't watch. I can watch a Bucks match, but that's why I'm just like,
a Bucks match is entertaining.
Yes,
but what you said, you hit the nail right on the head. In you have somebody that is not under your umbrella that you can easily go out with that argument.
Right.
And you choose to aim your bow and arrow at someone.
Somebody's under your umbrella.
Yeah. And that's stupid.
Look at that. We said the same word. What's up? Boom.
Shake and bake. Topic number 2. All right. Topic number 2 is a company taking advantage of firings, and I'm not hating on them.
I'm not either.
Not hating on them.
Not either.
Impact Wrestling released a video promo, which, very golf clap. Very well produced, very well done. Kudos, as I've said before on this podcast, to the Impact Wrestling production team. Ever since Kevin Sullivan left and went to AEW, your production has been on point. It was good before.
Do you remember a company that was called WCW?
I do.
Do you remember who was booking for them?
At what time?
During 95, 96, 97, 98.
Kevin Sullivan?
It was Kevin Sullivan.
It's not the same Kevin Sullivan.
I know. I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. I was like, I've told you this numerous times, Dutch. But yeah, so Impact Wrestling, if you haven't seen it, just go on their YouTube page or their website, whatever. They have Slammiversary coming up on June 18th, I believe. And I didn't pull up shit. When you talk, I'm going to pull up the card.
You want me to talk?
No. Let me finish the statement.
Go ahead.
They released a promo video, talking about 20-plus wrestlers got fired and laid off. And the video it's a video of a gentleman pouring some Jack. I assume it's Jack.
Some good whiskey.
Yeah, some good whiskey. And gets it wearing a black hoodie, which I assume is EC3. Walks in, sits down on a little chair. The news presenter, who is apparently a independent wrestler.
Has to be. That dude was swole.
Yeah. It's talking about people getting fired. And the whole promo ends showing, I think, Gallows, Anderson,
who else?
Spud, EC3.
Wait.
Eric Young.
It can't be Spud.
Well, they showed it.
That's what I'm saying.
They showed him.
He just signed a contract.
Well, yeah, I know. But I'm saying they showed him on the video.
Yeah, okay.
From All Impact Wrestling. Eric Young. Carl Anderson. I said Carl Anderson, right?
Yep. The club, whatever you call them. The Bullet Club.
Yeah. And they show all these people, and they have a Bulgarian flag in it.
Now, see, that's...
So...
Sweet.
Then he goes off, Slammiversary, date. Everybody watch it. So... My
Impact's
question
really trying to get me to
for
watch.
you, yes.
Impact's like, hey Dutch, you want?
Kudos.
Cracked your screen.
I didn't. It's carpet.
Damn, man, effects.
The little flame come up. But kudos to Impact Wrestling because this is how you get people to watch your product that really isn't on. I mean, I guess they are on a major network now,
right?
But still are having issues with getting people to check out their product.
Right.
Because it still is Access TV. And I don't know that a lot of people watch New Japan on Access TV.
I don't know a lot of people that do. I know most people
you have to
watch
have
on New
special
Japan
cable
World
programs for, like, I know it's on satellite. I think it's on, like, extended, like, digital cable.
Yeah.
But
I know a lot of people that do watch it. Like, they're like, oh, did you see the last New Japan
I want
show?
your opinion if you're watching that from a fan perspective.
Yeah.
What is your opinion if you see that?
So... I can tell you exactly my opinion on as a fan. So when I saw the video, it starts off kind of like, what am I watching here? But then when they go through the wrestlers and then they give you the Slammiversary logo, you kind of go, oh, hell yeah. Because honestly, as a fan, some of the wrestlers that they cut, I was like, that's just unfair as hell. Like they didn't really give these guys any chances and stuff like that. And most of them, well, they didn't really back them, but somebody like, I'd love to see Eric Young wrestle again.
Yes.
And when I see him on there, EC3, I want to see him have a run, man. I hated the way he was used. I mean, am I going to see a Zack Ryder? Oh, that would be dope.
Well, no, they weren't on there. I don't think
he was on there.
I think Kurt Hawkins was.
Kurt Hawkins
because I think he did a few shows for them when he was.
But the point I'm making is I'm super excited. First off, I watch their stuff on Instagram. I don't watch their actual shows. That's how I keep up is on the Instagram because they kind of show you the short little clips of the match, what's going on. You know, I just watched like Scott D'Amore and he was talking about the World Heavyweight Championship and Tessa's not there. And then...
Sorry, I said June 18th. It's July 18th.
July 18th. Yeah. And then they had like Ace Austin coming out and Elgin came out and stuff. But like that's how I keep up. But now that you've released this commercial, this commercial is bringing me in and I'm going to watch Slammiversary. I'm going to make an effort to see what they're going to do. And the big selling point for me is you point out the 20 plus wrestlers that were fired and you know where they came from if you're a wrestling fan. So you're wondering how many of those people are coming over. Is this going to be a huge faction takeover? I mean, we're going to see like an alliance again, like WWE did. Like like an invasion. I'm interested on what they're going to do, but the selling point for me was the Bulgarian flag.
Yeah.
That's obvious.
I just don't know if I'm with you. Like we talked about Rusev on the debut episode of on the High Spots Wrestling Network. And I just don't think that's a good move for him.
I know what you're going to say.
I don't.
But I don't know if they're going to commit to him right now. That's probably why he can't.
Yeah,
I don't think there's travel right now.
Listen,
is there?
He lives in Los Angeles.
That's what I'm saying. But there's no travel into Japan right now.
Oh yeah. But still, well, this is true. They might just be a one-off. I love the idea behind it. It's a way to get people talking, and it did, and it get people interested. The problem there lies you have to follow through with your tease. So for me as a fan, we already know. I think they showed Spud. We already know Spud's not going to be there. Like, so you show all these people and tease all these people coming, and who's
actually going to come?
Yeah, you don't. It's almost like making a guarantee. It's when you show somebody's face on your specific promo for this the biggest Slammiversary is their WrestleMania.
Right.
Right. Actually, yes, I thought it was Bound for Glory, but no, Bound for Glory is something else. Slammiversary, I assume, is their WrestleMania. I'm not going to say I can guarantee that. But when you show all these faces on a promo, in the wrestling fan's mind, if all those faces don't show up that night, you failed.
All of them.
Yeah, every single person that you showed better show up that night, or you failed. You can't show all those people and then just have Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins show.
Correct. Because then people are like,
and really? I even think if you show all those faces and Rusev shows up, you still failed.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a big get. It'll get people talking, but basically, what you've done is you've lied to me to get me to spend $50 on your pay-per-view using false advertisement, using backlogged footage of wrestlers that you told me were going to be there that you always knew weren't.
And it's Slammiversary. So it's the anniversary. It's their
big anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's my issue with it. Like, I understand, but you could do that whole thing and then have the dude drink, take a sip of the whiskey, just cover his face. Actually, the guy in the hoodie might be, Angle signed back with WWE, didn't he?
I think he's either signed
or they're talking.
But I do know they're trying to sign him again, but I don't know if he's signed yet.
It might be him with the hoodie on. But
I just can't take him seriously in the ring anymore.
But he doesn't have to be in the ring. But just have the person take a sip of drink and say who's going to show up. And you sold it.
I like that.
Then you got people. That's the problem.
Or how about this one? I got one for you. Let's see if I like that because I'm gonna play a spin on yours. Whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a sip. Phone rings. Picks it up. Mm-hmm. Who got fired? Cool. Or like, bring them on. Something like that.
No, bring them all.
Bring them all. Or who'd you get? Like, kind of keep it like keep it open so it's like who, or like plural, make it who's coming. It's like something like that. Yeah. Instead of showing, I like that a lot that you've thought about that because or brought that up because man, you got me excited now. I'm like putting it together in my head because I would love something like that. Instead of showing those faces, you're like, who. But now it's like, I like that thought process of like, who's coming? Or who was fired?
You've built an expectation.
Who's coming? You do.
That's the problem is you've built an expectation with visual pictures of people who you're expected to show up.
Pretty high.
It's the same concept as a independent promoter putting out a poster
with Hogan on it or something.
With all these superstars on them, and then like one of them shows up. You know what I mean? And it happens.
Yeah. Oh, I know it does.
And it makes you look like a piece of shit because what you're doing is you're false advertising,
and you get sued for that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that's what TNA did. I understand the concept of the video. I understand the thought process behind the marketing value of that video, and I think it worked 100%. It worked, and kudos to TNA for like being willing and having the balls to go after that. Right. And because that's the first thing I thought whenever the news article comes. Like when I watched it for the first time, which was weeks ago, I watched it. I saw like an article about it. Then I pulled it up on YouTube. I was like, man, the first thing I think about any video when I see it is like, oh, they got some real motherfuckers to do this. Like they got some real film people to do this. And I love the way it was shot. I love the composition of everything.
Right.
But as soon as the news thing goes, I was like, oh, they're going to go there.
Right. Yeah. It's a pretty big deal.
But then they show all these faces, and I'm like, man, either Anthem's going to lose a ton of money, or this is their,
or they did.
I mean, this is their Hail Mary.
They shored up something.
Yeah,
Right.
This is their Hail Mary.
So whenever I first watched it, I was like, "Oh damn!" They kind of mentioned the firings, but then I agree. When I started seeing the faces, I was like, "Wait, what?" That's what threw. I think seeing the faces threw me off more than got me excited. Like at the end of it, I was like, "Damn, that's pretty dope." But then when you sit back and you take it in and you think about it, as a fan, you saw the excitement. You saw it firsthand what people are going to do. Expectations pretty high.
Yeah.
I want to get it. I want to watch it. I don't know if I have this hair staying up or not.
You're good.
But I'm just super excited about this.
They
But
got
it
me.
might not deliver. And if
They
it
got
doesn't,
me.
and I can tell you this. Listen, brother, if it doesn't deliver, I'm going to be one pissed SOB.
Yeah, it's.
Dude, I might
Yeah.
not watch TNA for a while.
I mean, I don't watch anything consistently, but I keep tabs on everything that's going on. And the card, the only thing they've announced is the 6-man or the 6-way, I should say, for the title, which is, of course, Tessa, who is their world champion.
Yeah. So she's going to show up apparently.
Tessa versus Elgin versus Edwards versus Ace versus Trey. What's going on with Tessa?
I don't know the whole storyline. Like I said, they don't ever mention the storyline. It's just Tessa's not there right now.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't know the entire storyline. I'm not going to pretend that I do know.
yeah.
But I do know that a lot of the guys are. You think this is their way of having this match where somebody doesn't pin Tessa?
Probably.
I don't get that.
I think if we were making predictions, I think Elgin's going to go out of the thing with it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Elgin?
Yeah, they've been building
Over
him long
Edwards?
enough. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think Eddie's had that title before.
I mean, regardless if he's
Elgin,
had it or
they
not.
built Elgin for the last year.
They have,
But
yeah.
but yeah, I think when you put out, this is if all those people show up, this
It'll be one
is
hell of a show.
well, this is the Hail Mary for Impact. Like this is in my mind, from a wrestling fan and critic, it shows me that they're willing to play ball.
Yeah.
Like they're finally
Yeah.
willing to put some money behind it,
Yep.
put some resources behind it, and
Hey.
start taking it. Like I'm not saying I don't want to say.
If Impact competes against AEW, it's AEW, Impact, and NXT.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you get that big three again, then I think it's going to take Ring of Honor a while, and I don't think Ring of Honor's ever gotten to that level
I don't
of
think it ever
competing
got
with
there.
WWE. If you do think that, you're like oblivious to reality. They were at one point when they had Bucks and them drawing like 1,500 people, but we're talking about 50. To put shit into reality. You can create your own narrative all you want to in professional wrestling, but like we went to when in WrestleMania 30, I took Jeff to the Ring of Honor show as like a guest. I got him a security gig where he's working security for the show.
Oh, I bet you love that.
And, oh yeah, there's a picture somewhere on social media. But I think they had like 2,000 people in this gym, and I mean it was packed and it was fun and it was an awesome show and super cool atmosphere. But
Not WWE level.
putting 2,000 people in a gym and considering it a huge success, as opposed to a company that puts 20,000 people in arenas
That's dwarving it.
like consistently,
Right. And
there's no comparison.
and it's not that it's not a success. It's not as successful
You're not.
as
You're not
as
gonna.
the-
you're not gonna
as the
topple the
Fed.
monster. You're not.
Right.
Yeah. You're not gonna
Right.
put your rock in your slingshot and take him
Right.
down.
And this
Same thing with AEW. AEW puts what at most in Chicago, 15,000 people for All Out.
Is that what they do? I thought it was more than that.
For usual, maybe it might have been 17, 18 because it's arena. But most of their Dynamite tapings do like 3,000 to 5,000 people.
Right. Yeah.
And hey, I'm not saying they're not being successful.
Right.
They're just not toppling the beast.
And
they're not
something-
even close to toppling the beast.
It's something that people don't notice when you watch AEW. I encourage you to look for this. They have blackouts.
Oh yeah,
They have
But so does
blackouts
WWE.
They have blackouts all the way across the arena. They cover up the top parts, and
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed that WWE has had to start doing that because their ticket sales have gone down. But I mean, it's pretty damn expensive to go to a damn WWE show too.
Yeah. When your television is drawing WWE house show numbers, like you're getting there. I'm not saying that AEW isn't getting there because I am a critic.
They're
I am
still growing.
I am harsh on AEW sometimes, but I have a ton of people, even more now, that I love and adore that work there, that I want them to be successful and make money. I think they're headed in the right direction, but they are on a and listen, I've been critical of Jim Cornette too, but if you listen to FTR's interview with Jim Cornette on his last Jim Cornette experience, it's about 3 hours long. I think the last hour and a half or 2 hours
That's what it
are
is.
them.
Yeah.
He makes some very valid points about AEW wrestling. And he's talking from an old school perspective, but he did it like Jim,
Good
another
job.
golf clap, because he didn't go crazy.
Like he normally does.
He didn't
like
go crazy.
His
He didn't
rant.
get loud. He cussed a little bit, but he didn't get loud. He made some unbelievably very systematic evaluations from his experience that they need to listen to and take into consideration. And they're not going to, because they're going to say, "Oh, it's Jim Cornette. Fuck Jim Cornette.
You know
he
what
never
you're doing
he never
right now,
liked
though?
us. He hates the Bucks. So whatever." Which is going to be the downfall of that company.
Right. So you are being the dad right now because you've got people in the company and you want it to work, you want it to prevail, but you're like, be careful, guys.
Yeah,
you're watching them. You're watching your boys grow up.
Yeah,
that's what you're doing.
Which
isn't a bad thing. You're wishing the best, but you're like, be careful. Look for the signs.
This is the thing, and this goes to Impact Wrestling too. You might hate somebody, but if they are more educated about a subject than you and have more experience and success than you in that field, you have to take what they say. Even if you don't agree with it, you have to take what they say into consideration.
Yeah. Can I
because you can tell when somebody's just shitting on something.
Right.
But you can also tell when somebody's shitting on something but trying to make your product better. Because there's two types of people in the world, which most of Twitter and social media are filled with people who just like to shit on things with no inkling of how to make it better.
Not a drop of knowledge.
The other are people that shit on what you're doing because they feel like it can be better.
Right.
And that's the difference. Is if you listen to the people that are shitting on your product or giving you harsh criticism or just staying on your ass about something, there is a thought process in them that's telling them this could be better.
Right.
They could do better. Why are you doing it like
pushing,
this?
Keep
why
pushing.
Are you doing it like this when you could do it like this?
Right.
That's a hidden,
they don't understand what's going on in those meetings.
Passion that most people overlook.
Right.
They just say, this person don't like me, screw them, I'm not listening to them.
Right.
If someone spends that much time, they're either obsessed with you or they feel like that you could do a better job. And there's might be 3 seconds of their 10-minute rant that you can pick out and say, this is what I can do better. This is how we can make it
doesn't
better.
have to be all of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be every
you don't
piece
have to, you don't have to take
minutes.
everything they say and change all your stuff.
He could have said literally, change your logo. That could have been it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I know what you mean, though. Yeah. I'm seeing where you're coming from. And like what I was talking about earlier, get your feelings hurt. Get the hell over it, man.
Yeah.
Just move on. Take constructive criticism.
What it boils down to,
pride,
and once again,
ego.
We're getting away from the topic at hand. What
we
it boils
always
down
do.
to,
Damn it. This is the Wrestling Open Forum. That's why it's called the Open Forum. The O and the F.
What it boils down to is at the end of the day, it's about making enough money to continuing to get your paycheck.
Yeah.
Because you can call it a wrestling company. You can call it a bunch of friends running a wrestling company, a bunch of friends hiring a wrestling company. I'm talking about AEW, not Impact Wrestling. You can call it whatever you want. No matter who runs it, no matter who the vice presidents are, no matter any of that. Its core value is it's a business.
Absolutely.
And a way a business succeeds is a business continues to make the right decisions and make money.
Yep.
The way a business fails is a business makes the wrong decisions and loses money and goes out of business. And that's it.
And it's kind of like Impact right now is throwing their Hail Mary with the firings and trying to I don't want to say pick up what they can because it's not. It's great talent. It's just like let's just say they picked up 23 people.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell would you introduce 23 new?
I don't know.
Like that's the point I'm making. Like that is a lot of talent to introduce.
This is where we in this discussion is I'm making a bold statement. If everybody, with the exception of Spud, because we know what happened there, I'm sure that wasn't
part of that. Yeah,
I wasn't in the agreement. That wasn't in the realm of reality when they made this thing and put it out. If everybody they showed, including Rusev, shows up at Slammiversary, Impact Wrestling has arrived back to where it once was as the top 2 in professional wrestling.
I am going to say that it will be on the heels. I don't think it will ever reach where it did in 05 and 06 with
like Spike TV
level.
Yeah,
I literally go
Spike
back and
TV,
watch it.
Joe,
Yes.
Daniels,
AJ, Daniels, Motor City
Angle,
Machine Guns, Consequences, Creed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, man, that was some good stuff. And Angle and Christian Cage was on there, and Booker T. And
I'm just saying, if Impact pulls it out, well, I won't even say the top 2. They'll be part of the top 3, if they're not already considered. Because I think they're on.
And we're excluding the Fed itself.
They're on
just
the
NXT,
level.
AEW, and.
Well, the Fed. Well, WWE is, of course, top, then AEW, and then it'll be Impact.
But that's what I'm saying. The 3 would be NXT.
Because as of right now, I think Impact and Ring of Honor are battling for that 3rd position.
They're battling.
Just because Impact, I don't know what Ring of Honor's viewership is on TV. I don't know what Impact's viewership is on TV.
We'll look into that and we'll discuss it.
They both have these small shows with 500, 600 people there.
Yeah.
So they're the same
I
level.
see what you mean now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think if Impact can bring in, let me put it like this. If Impact can bring in all those people, not all the people that got fired, all the people that were presented in that promo, they can draw 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people in arenas in America.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And that's what they need to do. Then they can start touring.
I'll go with that.
Then they can turn from a television wrestling company to a professional wrestling company.
We'll see then.
Yep.
We'll see.
I think that's all the time we got to do. I'll encourage you to this Monday to check out the first episode of Kick Out with Dutch. I've been on his ass. I've put out 2 episodes of Take It Home. And he's finally...
I've been really, 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 really thinking about what I want.
And he's finally going to do it, and he's going to put out an episode of Kick Out. It's like a little quick hit. It's a quick hitter.
It's not very long.
My Take It Home is the extended version of what this episode is. It's just interactive live with fans. But Dutch has got Kick Out, so make sure you check that out on our Facebook on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Open Forum, or on our YouTube. It's youtube.com because we don't have enough subscribers to
get the WF.
Yeah, you know what? If you watch stuff on our YouTube, which we're about to put all of the past episodes since we started on High Spots Wrestling Network on our YouTube, just go subscribe so we have subscribers, and then we can get our own little youtube.com/Wrestling Open Forum.
Hell yeah, baby!
For the love of Jesus. But yeah, so thank you guys for listening to us talk about some wrestling. We jumped a lot off topic, but that's what the beauty of this show.
If you watch this show and expect us to stay on topic, you are sadly mistaken.
No. I think some of our off-topic stuff is just as good, if not better, than the topic stuff.
Yeah.
So, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook, and I guarantee you we have a ton more content.
Buy us tacos. I'm always cool with that.
Buy us tacos the next time you see us in public.
If you buy me a taco, I'm going to high five your freaking
I'll give you a
hand.
shirt.
I will give you a shirt.
I'll give you a shirt. Taco. Dutch will give you the shirt off his back.
Okay, yeah. I had to think about it for a minute. Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, guys. Thank you for the listen. For Dutch, I'm Patrick.
And for Patrick, I'm Dutch.
We're the Wrestling of Inform Show.
Pew pew.